But we talk about the matchup here right now, where you've got Kaleb Young, who's having a fine season, only one loss on the year so far, against Steve Bleise, the transfer redshirt senior from Northern Illinois that has come into this program. And watching him, Tim, he looks like he fits the mold of a Minnesota wrestler.
He does. This is a great starting matchup here between two guys that have not seen the podium yet. Steve Bleise was a round of 12 guy a couple of years ago when he was at Northern Illinois. Now he's found a home at Minnesota, and here comes Steve Bleise out. Broke his hand earlier in the year, wrestled with that broken hand. You can see it wrapped up. And he said, no way am I staying out of the lineup. Here we go. Young versus Bleise, starting at 157. Iowa, Minnesota.
It'll be interesting, Tim, to see who gets their shot off. And right there from space, Kaleb Young walks right into a pretty good shot right there. He's pretty good at finishing this technique. Whizzer still there by Bleise, and he's able to hip out and get away. That was big for Bleise.
That's good fending off by Bleise, because that was a nice shot. And
yeah.
Young did a nice job of moving forward and getting to his feet.
Well, he didn't really set it up, but he was able to get to the leg and able to operate in space. And a lot of times you see guys in these middleweight classes, they get ear to ear, they get collar tied up, you know. But Bleise has a nice little duck under to the right-hand side right there. You see him working off that elbow tie on the right-hand side. He likes to work off of that, particularly when his opponent is pushing into him, and Young does like to push.
Kaleb Young out of Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania. It won't be long before the Groundhog's time is coming in his hometown, but right now, it's Kaleb Young's time to shine for the Hawkeyes up against Steve Bleise, an opportunity to get the Gophers off fast.
I like what Young is doing right now. He's keeping a lot of weight on his, he's carrying his own weight. He's not leaning in too much in these tie-ups. I think he understands pretty well that, that Bleise has a pretty good, nice little duck under right off of this position. See, Bleise is working to get his head on a comfortable side right there. Going to follow it up with the underhook. Good period so far by both guys.
Keep working, Young.
Again, a lot of these matches are going to be tough and physical, grinding, and who's going to be the guy that flinches, comes out of his stance just a little bit, doesn't get out quick enough, gives up riding time. A little slide by attempt there by Young.
Well, you got that right. Well, you got a number 6 and a number 9 ranked, and the 9 rank is at home in a sold-out arena. You got to say, hey, it's a toss-up.
It certainly is. So,
pick up your pace.
Again, Young was able to get to the leg out of a free position, but he seems to be willing to go ahead and work from the tie-up. 38 seconds left of the match. There's a collar to collar. You can see a little bit of this, and I like it when the referees let that part of it go. A good hard collar, not going to hurt anybody. Hard collar tie once again there by, now he follows it up with a shot. A good left-handed shot, but this is where Young is pretty good, though. He's able to go ahead and square up and is maybe getting Bleise not thinking about his offense as much right now as he's cut the corner. A little more action there. The grip has been broken. He's got to try to worm that left arm around to get to the underhook, and he was able to do it.
End of the first period, no score. There's Brandon Eggum in his 3rd year. Gave a great speech there that you saw in the opening, egging his guys on to just be in the moment, enjoy. What an opportunity. 2 of the top programs in America, and you get to come out and wrestle in front of a sold-out arena.
Yeah, this is what you come to these programs for. So you mark it on the calendar. It's important. Both Iowa and Minnesota get to wrestle a lot of these types of meets. They both wrestle Oklahoma State, and that's always been a good rivalry for both schools.
Let's go to Shane right now, a little more on the injuries of Steve Bleise.
You mentioned that broken hand, TJ. That was against Air Force on November 9th. He came back and wrestled just over a week later against Oklahoma State, scored a late takedown to win his match in that duel. Just a really, he had talking to Luke Becker, he said he's one of those guys that shows up and just gets to work with his toughness. Last week against Rutgers, we did not see that shoulder harness that he's wearing on his right shoulder in this duel. Again, just one of those guys that shows up and gets tough. TJ?
Good insight, Shane. And right now, I'd say that the referees will have their eye on Bleise for backing up and could call for stalling.
No question, because he's given up a little bit of territory right there. But you saw the good. He really has they're 1-1 on shots in the match, and it seems to me that Young is a little bit content just staying in the collar tie. I look for him to free up a little bit, maybe in this next exchange if they go off the mat. Doesn't seem to be willing to go ahead and let him come back in. Yeah, you rarely see this call, but it's almost a good time to just, hey, guys, let's go a stalemate here. Now they come back and drift off to the center on their own.
The escape for Young quickly in the second period, the only score so far in this first matchup of the meet between Minnesota and Iowa.
Well, I look with the quick escape there by Young. Now he still really has a great opportunity to go ahead, stay tough in the top position, and maybe perhaps get some riding, let this being settled by riding time. So I look for Young to try to stay on the top position. The third period.
We go to the third period, 1-0. Steve Bleise will have his choice, and he's
got to go down.
Says he's going to go down to start the third period to try to even up the score or go ahead.
Young's pretty proficient in that top position. Nice job of separating the arms. Good mat return there. And Young has walked right into a little side tilt. Got a really deep, tight waist right now.
Huge early commitment on top by Young.
Yeah, Young he's really, nose over the toes. So he's trying to push that level forward here. But good job of fighting hands by Bleise. We're all squared up at one.
All squared up. No riding time is a factor at all. A minute and a half left in regulation. We're in the first bout of the Minnesota-Iowa meet, and it's all tied up.
Yeah, again, I'm looking for two things. I'm looking for Young to maybe break free and work off that free position to get to that single leg like he did early in the match. Right here would be a good opportunity for him. And in the tie, Bleise is going to go heavy collar, then come to that high crotch or basically go off the elbow tie, right, like in a position like this, and go off a duck under to that right side, left side of Young. Let's see who gets it going, gets to his offense first. I mean, this is the self-talk that Brandon Egan was talking about. Remember why you're here. Both guys battling. Same thing could have been said of the other locker room. You live for these type of moments. Is who can get that shot off.
40 seconds, 35 seconds left in regulation. It's all tied up, and if it stays this way, we'll go right to sudden victory.
Why not go, Animal?
We'll talk about overtime if it comes to that.
Come on, horsey. Why not
Looks like Bleise is content to be on the outer third of the mat. And you want to be careful there. Look, Tubbs up in a bear hug right there. That's tight. Can he scoop that bottom leg? Oh, and Young throws it right there. That was amazing. Unbelievable.
A 6-point move. Kaleb Young launches Steve Bleise and gets the first victory of the afternoon for the Hawkeyes.
What a rethrow. He was 99% gone on that one. Take a look at this nice, beautiful bear hug. He pops in, he tries to scoop that leg right there, drive through, and right there at the proper time, the rethrow with popping the hips in. I didn't know Kaleb Young had that in him.
The anticipation here. Watch this
Look at
headlock.
that.
Boom!
Oh, that was amazing.